past week has seen a lot of discussion around the practice of photocolorization. That's taking black and white still images from the past and restoring them digitally, adding color. Nick Muirhead has been following a story about a news outlet that's published those kinds of images and landed in hot water.
That's right. So colorizing images has become popular because you can take a photograph that's 100 years old and make it look like it was taken yesterday. So it's a powerful tool in terms of bringing history to life. Last week, US news outlet Vice published a series by an Irish artist named Matt Loughrey, who specializes in this kind of thing. He colorized and restored photos of prisoners from the Khmer Rouge regime in Cambodia. That's the brutal dictatorship led by Pol Pot between 1975 and 1979, which killed an estimated 1.7 million people. But it soon emerged that Loughrey had not only colorized the images, but he had also made it look like the prisoners, who are essentially sitting in a death camp, he made it look like they were smiling and happy. What makes matters worse is that at the time of publication, Vice didn't disclose that the images had been doctored.
How did Cambodians catch on to this? Was Loughrey's work just unconvincing?
Well, as you can see, they are convincing. They look realistic, but it's not as though the original images were obscure. In fact, they are on display in a genocide museum in Phnom Penh. So Cambodians figured it out very quickly, and they went on social media and they posted the originals alongside the doctored images to show the difference. So Vice has since taken that article down, and they've also taken down a series from last month, which also featured Loughrey's work. This time he colorized and added artificial smiles to a group of female prisoners in Australia from the 1920s.
But Cambodia, we're talking about a genocide. How has Loughrey defended his work?
We haven't seen anything since this has all emerged, but at the time of publication, he gave an interview and he said that that's how he found the images. He even tried to offer up some explanations for why the prisoners might be smiling. He said that they could be nervous, they could be trying to appease their captors. But I think what really summed up the feeling in Cambodia came from the director of the Documentation Center of Cambodia. He called Loughrey's work a grave injustice to a piece of living history and asked, how can you change hell to happiness?
I guess you can try to do it digitally, but it won't always work. Thanks, Nick.